Here are the top 3 mistakes that single Muslim women make when setting up their profiles on Muzz. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hannah Ogishinyi. I'm the co-founder of Muslim Love Coaches, and alongside my husband Ammar, we're on a mission to help 5 million single Muslims find their spouses and be in a healing, nourishing, and Allah-centered relationship. And here is what I teach the ladies in my course. Perhaps you've been on Muzz and you thought to yourself, I don't even know what to write in my bio. I don't even know what photos to use. If that's the case, then this video is for you. I was there. I remember the first time I downloaded Muzz, I'm like, I have to write something about myself. I have to put photos. I remember I was feeling so nervous about that. And I remember fumbling at my first draft. I just wrote anything. I think I wrote, Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hannah, I live in Sydney and I'm a teacher. That's what I wrote. And I chose any photos of myself because I felt so nervous about it. But it's not until I took a step back, and this is step number 1 that I find Muslim women make in terms of mistakes, is they're not intentional with how they craft their bio. And that's a mistake because you end up just writing anything in your bio and you end up just choosing photos that really don't capture who you are. So I started to become intentional with who I really was. First of all, I got really clear on my values. Who was Hannah? What was really important for her? What's her vision in her life? And who is she actually seeking? Who's the spouse that she's actually trying to attract? I came very clear on that. And so step number 2 that I find single Muslim women have trouble in, and the mistake is that their bio doesn't really capture who they are. They write very general things about themselves, or they don't place effort into their bio. It's like, ask me anything. That doesn't give anyone curiosity to ask things about you. Think about this. Your bio attracts your future husband. So you want there to be enough for him to think, ooh, she's exciting. Ooh, I want to get to know her. So think about it like that. The more effort that you spend into your profile, the higher chances you're going to attract a man on the top of the barrel, a high value husband. But if you put less effort into your bio, less effort into your profile, well, guess what? You're going to attract low barrel men that are not keen, men that ghost you, men that are not even serious. And so if you're currently attracting that type of man, I want you to go back and look at your bio, because 9 out of 10 times your bio doesn't really attract your future husband. That's how it works. So when you're thinking about your bio, you don't want to keep it vague. You don't want to keep it too short. You want to describe who you are as a person and what your values are. So my bio looked something like, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hannah. I've started my own business. I'm an educator. I'm a teacher. And then I actually listed my top 5 values. And I actually defined what they look like. I think my first one was Islam and Deen. So instead of saying Islam is my top value, I actually explain what that meant in a sentence. I actually explained what Islam means and how it means into my life and how it fits into my life. And I did that with my top 5 values. And then at the end of it, I said who I'm seeking. I'm like, I'm seeking a man who, and I actually defined what I was looking for in one sentence. I'm looking for a man that has deen as his value, is compatible, that has a vision that's bigger than himself, and is aligned with his purpose. That was something along the lines of my bio. So I actually defined what I was looking for. So the reason why I did that and the psychology of why I did that is I want my husband to read my profile and think, oh, that's me. I should match her. And so that's what I invite you to do. I want you to go back into your profile, go back into your bio, start by describing who you are, what your top 5 values are. And this is what I teach my clients in their course, how to discover what their top 5 values are, and then actually define what you're looking for in a partner. Another top tip, and this is something that's a little bit like, this is like an elevator tip. I kept enough information on there so that my future husband can say, oh, I want to match with her, but something to bring him into curiosity. So for example, I didn't say what my business was. I just said, I've started my business recently. Why did I do that? It was very strategic because I want the man that matches with me to ask me about my bio. I want my future husband to be curious and be like, oh, I noticed on your bio, you said that you started a business. And it actually worked, because when I matched with my husband Ammar, one of the first questions he asked me was, I noticed on your bio you started a business. Tell me more about that. What business did you start? So that's what you want. So you want enough so that you attract your high value man, but also leave some mystery. So leave things general as well, so that he has gaps to ask you about. Or if you've done something really interesting, say for example, you've climbed the Himalayan mountains, or you went snorkeling somewhere, or you've done something really exciting, put that on your bio, because that will invite questions. You want something on your bio that will invite curious questions, and that's how you know you're going to attract a high value man. So that's in terms of your bio. When it comes into your photos, Muslim women panic a little bit when it comes to their photos. They're like, Hannah, I don't know what photos to put, and I'm nervous, and all of that. And so I want you to take a step back. When you're looking at your photos, again, I want you to be purposeful and intentional. You don't want to just choose photos that you think you look gorgeous in, where you're like you've done heavy glam that really doesn't look like your everyday look, because that doesn't capture who you are. You want to choose photos that are actually aligned with who you are. And when I mean that by that is, if I was to see you in your everyday life, how would you look? That's what you want your photos to look like. So lose that photo, because it doesn't show who you are on an everyday basis. And so instead, go ahead and have photos that reflect your values. So say, for example, reading is a top value for you, like seeking knowledge, then have a photo of you in a library, or have a photo with you in a book. If you're a person that likes to try new things and is a foodie and is adventurous and a coffee lover, why not have a photo of you in a restaurant with a coffee? So choose photos that really align to your values. You might be saying, Hannah, I don't have these photos. And that's what my clients tell me, like, Hannah, I don't have these photos. So this is what I challenge my clients to do. And I challenge you to do the same thing. Why not go and do a photo shoot? And you might be saying, a photo shoot? Yeah, go ahead, get a friend and go to these key places that really capture who you are on a day-to-day basis and take some awesome photos. My clients do this and they have so much fun in the process, because who said that you need to come on the app on Muzz feeling dread? Why not come on Muzz feeling so excited with photos that really capture who you are, because you've just done a photo shoot that reflects who you are? So go ahead and go do a photo shoot that captures you in your natural element, and then put photos that you're really proud of, photos that you're so glad that you showed up in this beautiful way. Because guess what? Your photos, your smile speaks 1,000 words. And so the more effort you place into your photos to capture who you really are, the higher chances you're going to attract a high value man. But if you choose photos that are heavy glam makeup, photos that are last minute, photos that really don't capture who you are, guess what? You're going to attract low barrel men, men that are time wasters, men that are not serious, men that just want to play games. So your photos are really, really important. So I encourage you to go out, do a photo shoot, have so much fun, take a friend, capture photos that really align with your values. And the third thing, and the third mistake that I see a lot of Muslim women make, is they're not intentional with what they say on their bio. You know, those filters that you get to choose in terms of praying, smoking, your timeline, all of those are really important. So I ask you to take a step back and really answer those questions purposefully. Do you always pray? Smoking, those things, those questions, think about those, and do they really reflect who you are? And also your timeline. Some Muslim women keep it very vague. So I want you to be on your timeline very specific about when you expect to get married, when do you want to get married, because your high value man wants to see that you've got, like, you're there not to waste time. And the more purposeful you are with your timeline, as in like, I want this and this to be the talking stage, it allows you to actually, on Muzz right now, to actually put that, the talking stage I want for this long, the marriage stage, the getting to know stage, and then etc. etc. And so that's what I invite you to do. Be very purposeful with those intentionality behind your timeline, because a high value man will be attracted to that. So go ahead and have so much fun with that. You might be saying, okay, Hannah, I've done all of these 3 tips that you've just said. What do I do now? How do I actually swipe? How do I know a man is a high value man from his profile? How do I know a man is not a high value man? What do I do? What's the psychology of swiping? I teach you that in all of the next episode, inshallah. So stay tuned for episode 3, where I teach you the psychology behind swiping.